Hello and welcome to 9 Months, India's first and only comprehensive show on parenting and pregnancy. Now, a new mother's primary concern, apart from the safety and health of her baby, is her own health and, frankly speaking, also her weight. She receives all kinds of contrarian advice, to work out or not to work out, to diet or not to diet. But frankly speaking, there's nothing like a perfect mother. There's only a real mother. And it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. All that matters is what you feel like on the inside. Here to talk to us about the very important topics of food, nutrition and health, I'm joined by three very, very interesting guests. First is Meghna Joshi, who was with us last season also. She's a renowned nutritionist. And the tips that you had given me, Meghna, really saw me through a lot of my pregnancy. So thank you for being back here on season 2. And of course, Amrita Raichand, FoodFood channel's celebrity chef who's hosting her very popular Mummy Ka Magic. I really enjoyed that show. So Amrita, thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure indeed.
And Samanta Duggal, who's a yoga therapist and who's going to give us all the tips on how we can lose that unnecessary flab. So thanks, Sammy, for joining us.
Lovely to be here, Meghna.
I'll start with you, Meghna. There was this very interesting survey that was done by Baby Dove that said that 60% of mothers feel huge pressure because of media and because of our society to regain their looks after childbirth. And I find this very distressing, and I think there's just too much undue pressure that's put on new mothers who are already grappling with so many other issues. Is it really realistic to lose all that weight in the first year after giving birth?
Well, when you talk about losing weight, there are a lot of factors that come into picture. It is the hormones that the mother's hormones are going through. It is their mindset, their sleep patterns, the stress. Some mothers are really stressed out because of the sleepless nights. And obviously their food patterns and physical activity. But to answer your question, it is possible to lose your pregnancy weight in the first year.
Okay.
But it is also necessary to lose it in the right way by having nutritious food and not by starving yourself. Because if you're starving yourself, you're starving your baby.
Absolutely. In the media, all you hear about are these celebrity mothers who are models and actresses and who look amazing after childbirth, and good for them. But that's not what real mothers look like. So this entire show, the premise was that this is what real mothers look like after giving childbirth, and we should normalize this body image. We shouldn't shame mothers for it.
And it's absolutely fine. Every person is different. Everyone's priorities are different. Everyone's conditions at home are different.
Yes, exactly.
So there is nothing like body shaming that should come into your mind also.
But mothers do it a lot, you know. They're sort of these impossible standards.
It's a pure pressure.
That are left.
Just coming back to your question started with, is there too much pressure
Exactly.
by the media and by outside? I think the pressure is not from outside, it's and
internal.
then you went to contradict yourself to say that you are body shaming yourself, you are feeling ashamed. So it's actually we women who put that pressure on ourselves. If you walk out confidently, you are confidently doing this show today, you've got 3 women here, to come and chat with you. We are not affected by it, and there's so many people around here who are actually so proud of you and looking up to you for solutions. So it's here. It's not
all
here.
mental.
Everything
Absolutely.
is in you. If you are confident about yourself and you walk in, just to give you my example of my pregnancy, I was a model and an actor till I got pregnant. And I was always on a self-obsessed diet. Always in my life. So I have made up my mind that the day I get pregnant, diet can go to hell.
Of course.
You know, and that's what I did. I followed all the traditional ways. I ate all the pinnis and all the laddus and all the sontki things and all the ghee possible in the world. And by God's grace, I produced a really healthy child. I was 22 kilos overweight, and I'm not advocating that. Please don't come killing me after that. All the nutritionists are going to come gunning after me. But it was my choice. I wanted to just be there for my child. I wanted to feed my baby on demand. For one year, I did not even go to the gym. I used to walk, and there was enough and more exercise that you do with your child. And I was very proud. In fact, some of the people would kind of roll their eyes once in a while and say, "You do want to get back to work, right?" I say, "Yeah, and I will." But it was up to me when I wanted to do it, and I did it.
Exactly. And everybody else's statements are just opinions, they're not facts.
Yeah, and
they don't reflect on who you actually are.
And people will talk. People talk about everything. And if they're talking, some people are praising you. But it depends on you. Once I said that, they shut up. So, it depends on how you portray. If you're confident in your skin, I suppose then people understand.
It's like, it's a mindset that works,
Absolutely.
So a lot of people have the mindset, no, you have to get into shape. A lot of people have a mindset, no, I can never lose weight. You know, after pregnancy, there are people like, okay, now I am married, I am pregnant, I delivered a baby, I cannot lose weight. I cannot lose weight because I am having thyroid.
Yeah.
That's not true. It is your mindset that works. You are determined and you work towards it, you can do it. But it has to be at the right time, setting your priorities. Obviously,
and it has to be at the right time for you as a new mother. Okay,
And also,
that's great to hear.
new moms tend to compare themselves a lot. I think we have to remember that the process is very, very individual.
Yeah.
Everyone's body type is different. Metabolism is different. Sleep pattern is different. The process of childbirth for every mom is different.
It's so unique to every
It's so
mother.
unique.
Absolutely.
So comparison doesn't help here at all.
So Samantha, what kind of workouts do you recommend for new mothers?
So I think walking is fantastic. I teach yoga and I specialize in that. Starting off with, as I mentioned, gentle Pavan Muktasanas, you know, joint mobilization exercise. So start maybe post 4 weeks, pranayam, gradually strengthening the core, because as we know during childbirth, like the core muscles become quite weak, and also the pelvic muscles. So adding in some Kegel exercises and pelvic tilts. Very gentle. You don't have to do 108 Surya Namaskars post-pregnancy. You can just do like maybe one with just the breathing, and it's very, very effective. Adding in maybe a couple of planks after like 2 months or so. Again, this is such an individual process. I just want to add that, you know, it depends on what you've been doing while you're pregnant as well. Have you been jogging? Have you been doing intense yoga? What have you been doing? So it really depends on that as well.
But you can go back to the kind of exercises you were doing before you got pregnant. Is that recommended, or should
Absolutely,
you wait for like a year?
Again, it's very personal. It's very individual. It depends on how a mother is feeling.
Every mother's pregnancy and childbirth is a different process. So depending on what, like I had a cesarean. So there was no, I couldn't get up from the bed for a month. You know, I mean, I could, but what I mean is definitely not to walk around and, you know, go for a walk and stuff like that. So everyone's process is different.
So in fact, every childbirth is also different. So I have 2 kids. During my first pregnancy, just like her, I could not get off the bed for like to walk for like 40 days.
Okay.
And during my second one, I didn't have a choice. My first was in school. So I had to, and I was very comfortable. Like 5th day, I was taking a walk in my house, a slow walk. But I was absolutely fine. So it's different for everyone, as she said.
Yeah.
And talking about sleep deprivation, I must add that I was not sleep deprived because I would sleep every time my baby slept. I mean, I had made it a rule. You sleep, I sleep. So I was following his routine. When, you know, I would feed him, feed myself, out. So I think, you know, if you really get into that whole motherhood zone, in fact, now I want to do a show for mothers because I want to come out with healthy recipes to, you know, for mums where they can eat well, feel well, and enjoy being a mother. The whole, you know, desperation to become a girl again.
Yes.
You know, I think that
pressure
has to get out of our head. You know, because you want a baby, you pray for a baby and everything, and then you're dying to get back to when you were not a mom. I think it's just not fair to yourself or to the baby.
But you know, one of the biggest myths has been that working out actually reduces breast milk supply. So do you think that's absolutely true at all?
So I would say like 100% of exhaustive exercise does increase lactic acid.
Okay, so that's like kickboxing or...
Yeah, so you're going to like heavy range, which is actually not physically possible for a new mother because she's too tired and she's too stressed. So I mean, I would say gentle to moderate exercise does not affect breast milk at all.
Okay, it doesn't reduce the supply at all.
It doesn't, it doesn't. It's a myth. So you have to like really listen to your body.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I have heard of, and this has not happened to anybody who I've been teaching personally, but women who do go into exercise immediately and intensive exercise, the breast milk reduces by half. Now, that's a very individual process, but it's never happened to any of my clientele or students.
So how soon can a mother really start exercising then after giving birth?
With yoga, it's post 4 weeks. You can start doing very gentle Pavan Muktasana exercises, pelvic toning, core exercises, but gentle, because I think the woman's body also goes through a lot of physical trauma.
You know, I had enrolled into the gym after 6 months and I stepped out and in 15 minutes my mother-in-law called me, baby, he's crying. I am handling him. But anything in specific, I just left the gym. I said, you know what, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
I have waited for this moment. I've had a baby. I want to be around.
You want to
I
enjoy
don't
that.
want to go through that stride. I did not, contrary to a lot of my contemporaries who got back to work in 3 months, and losing weight became a obsession with them. It was not. It was my obsession. And I genuinely advocate that to mothers. You have waited a very, very long time to have a baby, and it's a process. You've created another human being.
Exactly.
I mean, just imagine. It's like at that point, you're God. Do yoga at home, walk at a club, evening, take your baby,
with
in a stroller. Just you must be active.
After my first baby, I lost my 23 kgs just by doing walks at home.
You told me this and I was amazed. I was actually thinking
So you also put on 23 kilos.
Yeah.
I put on 22 kilos, so I'm not so bad there.
I put on only 12, 13 kilos, but I put on more weight when I started breastfeeding. And I was stunned.
I put on 2-3 kilos after breastfeeding.
Yes, because I wasn't expecting it, because everybody told me, Acha, when you start breastfeeding, you lose 500 calories a day. So I was very, very pleased with that particular number. I said, okay, I'm done. I don't even need to exercise anymore. But the fact is, I actually, after the first month, when my supply was at its peak, I actually started putting on weight because I was so hungry all the time.
Yeah,
and
I was
the sleep
like
deprivation
ravenous.
doesn't help.
Yeah,
And
so
my baby was also very hungry baby, so
very
I was
hungry,
feeding him on demand.
Me too.
A lot of my pediatricians and everybody said, have a routine. I said, the child is going to be on a routine
they'll be on
for
no
the rest
routine.
of their lives. For the first year, I'm not putting no routine. The baby wants milk, I'm going to provide. So it was as simple as that.
So is that true though, that you lose 500 calories
You
a day?
do lose.
Okay.
And when you're talking about getting hungry, it is necessary to have the nutritious food. So I also advise my clients to have the traditional food, like the ghee or the panjri or whatever, the traditional one. Yeah, but not really like, a lot of them. You have to manage your portions.
Okay.
And at the same time have a lot of fruits and vegetables. So there is a myth also that, some vegetables are very gassy and you should not eat them. You should not have onion, you should not have garlic. The cauliflowers, it's for it'll get your kids colicky.
Okay, exactly.
So,
but are those true?
I would say you should ideally have everything in proportion so that your child, develops a taste for everything.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you're, if you think that your child is getting colicky or become uncomfortable because of certain foods, then you observe it.
Yeah.
Like my daughter used to get very colicky in the night if I had cauliflower in the night.
Okay.
So I used to avoid it in the night.
Take your own personal notes.
Yeah, because every child is different how they react to it. But it is necessary to give them the taste of everything, right? I mean, we don't want a fussy eater later. So it's better off to eat everything in proportion.
And there you have it. There is no wrong way or right way of being a mother. There's only your way, and that's always the best way. Thanks so much for watching.